Update on what's happening. Right now we've got some wind, we've got some rain here in the Memphis area. That's part of Ida, but there is a lot more where that came from. Let's get this message out on the air. We're going to put up a little crawler on ABC and let folks get some new information and let them join in over here if they want to. We're not going to cut into programming for this because it's just not serious enough right now. And it doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon, but we want to get the information out to the folks on air and let them join in here on the website if they choose to. So again, we're going to wait till 7 o'clock on the dot and make sure everything's working, and then we'll go for it. So stick with me here. We'll give it another 20-30 seconds or so and let everybody join on in. So until we are on the website, on YouTube, all that good stuff, we will wait just a second. I didn't know we were on YouTube last time when we did this about an hour ago. So I'm going to open up YouTube and see if we can get some information there. Now, I know maybe a lot of Memphis people are not watching on YouTube, but folks still might have some questions. So I'm going to get that pulled up just so we can kind of have that conversation and discuss a little bit about what may be going on. So again, just a couple more minutes here, folks. It usually takes a second to get everything going and live on the website and everything. It's not as easy as just going on TV, but we're not going to do that anytime soon. So let's see here. Okay, I've got YouTube pulled up. So if you're watching on YouTube, hello. Don't know if anybody is, but I've got the comments pulled up, questions pulled up, so we can discuss just a little bit about what is going on. And let's see here. Okay, so let's get into it. First of all, I want to tell you this. We've got rain out there right now, and I don't have my clicker. Okay, so just a couple more seconds here, folks. Let me just walk over here and get the remote that will let me do this. So what you're feeling right now outside, we've got rain, we've got wind, we've got thunder and lightning. We're feeling that right now in northeast Memphis. You're feeling it in downtown. We've got a nice line of rain that extends from Brownsville and Haywood County right through Memphis, basically right along I-40, and then even some storms down into eastern Arkansas. And this is one of the outer bands from Hurricane Ida. This is one of the first ones. So nothing serious going on with this. I don't want you to get scared. Don't want you to be worried because there's nothing to worry about right now. It's just some rain. Even a little thunderstorm now in Brownsville up to the north of I-40 there. Heavy rain right now in southeastern Tipton County and then all the way into Shelby County. Had a really good rumbler come through downtown just a little bit ago, and still some very heavy rain over President's Island as you're going west on 40 toward the 40-55 split. That's coming right into West Memphis. So West Memphis, Marion, heads up. You're going to get some of that heavy rain soon. And again, it extends all the way down into South Memphis toward the airport almost. And then, as I mentioned, we've got more rain all the way back to the west in southern Crittenden County in Arkansas as well. So again, I want to emphasize, even though we've got rain out there now, we've got thunder, we've got some lightning, there is nothing serious going on right now. I don't need you to be scared, don't need you to be worried, anything like that. This is just that first band from Hurricane Ida. And then aside from maybe some sprinkles down in North Mississippi, I think we're looking good for tonight, at least through tomorrow morning. So that's the update with what's happening right now in Memphis. We've got some rain coming through. It'll be out of here soon. I think by 8 p.m. we'll be dry in Memphis, and it looks like we're going to be dry generally for the rest of the night. But of course, the big story is what's happening now down south in Louisiana. Let me get this radar switched over here. It's very clear to see. There's our hurricane. It's a big one, folks, all the way from Baton Rouge through Mobile, seeing impacts from this hurricane right now. And I want to zoom on in here because we've actually got a tornado warning on the northeastern side of the storm. That includes Slidell and Picayune in Mississippi along I-10. And what tends to happen here, we get tornado warnings, we get brief tornadoes out of tropical systems. And that confuses some people, but think about it like this. The entire hurricane is already spinning. So it's a lot easier for little spin-ups to happen, especially as all this wind comes on shore. It tends to get caught up along the surface, so the surface slows the wind down, but it keeps going fast up in the air. So there's a little bit of turning, some turbulence, and it's easy to get these little quick spin-ups. So it looks like that's what's happening right now east of Slidell. Again, that's a tornado warning that's going to go for eastern St. Tammany Parish and western Hancock County in Mississippi until 7:30, it looks like. And I want to zoom in here and talk about this just for a moment, because we could be dealing with similar things in Memphis by this time tomorrow. We've got the chance of tornadoes, folks. Unfortunately, it looks to be mainly confined to areas in North Mississippi, but this could be happening here. And I just want to show you, we'll switch over to the velocity mode. And again, this is not here if you're just joining us, but there's definitely some areas there where there's it looks like there might be some turning trying to happen. Again, this is east of Slidell along I-10, and it's moving off to the north and the west. So that's the latest on that. Again, that's a tornado warning down in Louisiana and for Picayune and Hancock County in Mississippi. It looks like the worst of the weather right now is on the eastern side of the storm. Very strong winds right now along I-10 from New Orleans to Baton Rouge and Gonzales, Louisiana. That looks to be right now where the worst of the weather is. In fact, I'll switch to the velocity mode, and this looks really funny, I know. But what this is doing, it's basically telling us the wind speed and the wind direction. So the red colors are blowing away from the radar. That's in that general direction. Green is blowing toward the radar, which is like this. The radar site sets here in Slidell. So we can talk about exactly how much wind we're talking. It's hard to comprehend for most people, if you've never been through a hurricane, exactly what kind of wind we're talking about. Folks, look at this. 130 miles an hour. Now, that is a little bit above the ground. They're going to be a little slower when you get to the surface, but usually you want to knock off 15 miles an hour off the number you're seeing here. So 115 mile an hour winds, that's a tornado coming through basically, and it's over a huge area. Look at where these winds are. I mean, it extends from Baton Rouge all the way to New Orleans, and if you've ever driven that, it's a good hour drive between the two. So we're talking 60, 70 miles between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, where the winds are still significant. And again, if you go back to the radar, you can clearly see that eye, which is right in the middle where there's literally no rain right there. And it's totally calm in the eye of the storm. It's not just a phrase, it's totally true. For those folks that are down there right now, we can zoom in and see if maybe we can get some communities in there about what folks may be in there. I cannot pronounce that. I'm not from Louisiana. My best friend is. I'd be able to ask him and he might help me out, but he's busy himself down there. He's a meteorologist in Baton Rouge, so he's going to have a long night. But I'm going to pass on trying to pronounce that. Because I just don't know how to. But these areas here between about Slidell and Baton Rouge, that's the eye of the storm there. Choctaw, Louisiana, that's the one I can pronounce. There's nothing happening here. The sky is clear. It's not raining. It's totally clear. From there over into the east, it's about a 10, 15 mile difference. You're going from nothing to 130 mile an hour winds in a matter of just a couple of miles. It is insane. These storms are wild. There's Laplace, Louisiana. It's getting into the worst of it right now. Laplace, I guarantee you, is seeing sustained winds right now. If not 110, definitely 120. And that's crossing over I-10. So let's hope and pray that nobody is on I-10 right now, because that's the worst of the storm. There's Kenner, Louisiana. If you've ever gone down to New Orleans, I-55 comes pretty close to here when you can choose if you want to go to New Orleans or Baton Rouge on I-12. That's generally the area we're talking about. And this storm's moving off to the north and west. We'll put this into motion here and just give you an idea. It's moving at about 10, 12 miles an hour. What you're seeing is over the last hour. So it's not moving very far, very fast, and that means more heavy rain, unfortunately. In fact, speaking of the rain, let's just get an estimate of exactly how much rain has fallen here. That'll be something interesting to show, because not only is it windy, it is also extremely rainy. It's very heavy rain down there right now. And look at this. This is in the last 24 hours. You see where the heaviest rain is. And we can just kind of poke around here just a little bit and get an idea of how many amounts we're talking about in terms of inches of rain. 7.2 inches, 6.5 inches, 6.4, and we've still got about half of the storm to go. So you're talking over a foot of rainfall, plus all the rain coming in from the ocean that's being pushed in by the storm. So there's New Orleans right there. They're getting into nearly 6 or 7 inches of rain as well. So not a good situation at all right now. And those folks in Louisiana will have a long night ahead of them, unfortunately. I want to show you a couple of live images now. I don't know if these are still going to work, but yeah, this is live right now. Take a look at this. This is incredible. This is to the north of New Orleans. And I had some cameras up earlier. If you watched us at 5 p.m. on TV, I showed you a camera from between New Orleans and Slidell on the causeway. That camera is gone. I do not know if it's physically gone or if the power has been knocked out to it. There have been cameras that have flown off the pole today, I'll tell you that. Our station down in New Orleans literally reported their camera flew off with 100-mile-an-hour wind gust. So I would not be shocked if that's what's happening. This camera holding on, what you're seeing there is the interstate. So that's an exit ramp. That's the interstate. And believe it or not, folks, we've had people driving out there. Baffles me, I know, but hey, folks are doing it. I like to think they're first responders maybe. Not just regular folks out there trying to see the sights, because that's crazy. Here's Baton Rouge right now. Looks pretty calm, looks pretty tame. It's raining there now, but they're going to be in the middle of the worst fit within the next couple of hours. So here's the forecast path. We'll get into more of our local forecast now, and then I'll let you guys go. So a Category 3 storm right now, winds of 120 miles an hour. It continues to the north-northwest tonight, putting it near Jackson by tomorrow at 1 p.m. Now keep in mind, that's the center of the storm. So the center is near Jackson by 1 p.m., but the outer rain bands are already going to be into North Mississippi and even into Memphis by that time. The center of the storm makes it here by about 1 a.m. Tuesday, and then it's off to our north and east, and we'll start to see some improvement in the weather by Tuesday morning. For now, the morning commute in Memphis, it's going to be a rainy one, maybe not to start out. I think maybe by 6 p.m. we're okay. But as we go into 7 a.m., 8 a.m., the chance of rain continues to increase. So if it's not raining when you wake up, grab the umbrella, because look at this. 82 by 1 p.m., that's the one positive. It's not going to be as hot tomorrow. 80% chance of rain, 90% through dinner time. If you're trying to cook out tomorrow, if you're trying to go on a patio, forget about it. It is not happening. Rain and wind likely all through the afternoon into the evening and tomorrow night. Now, as far as the storm impacts for us here in Memphis, heavy rain is the biggest concern. 2 to 3 inches of rain could cause some flash flooding. Gusty winds also not out of the question, a medium risk for that, and a low end risk for tornadoes, but we can't rule one out. We'll be watching that carefully because we could see some of those brief tornadoes. Again, that's Monday morning, tomorrow morning, through Tuesday morning, so about a 24-hour window. Our rainfall totals look like this. Heaviest of the rain by far in North Mississippi, 2 to 4 inches from Oxford to Corinth. Here in the metro in Memphis, I'm thinking 1 to 2 inches, and then to West Tennessee as well. And then less than an inch in eastern Arkansas. Those folks honestly might not get a whole lot of anything because the storm path is way down here, and most of the storm is on the east side. So for the folks west of it, there might not be a lot going on. Same story with the winds, 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts in North Mississippi, 20 to 30 gusts in Memphis and the mid-south. To the north of Memphis, to the north of I-40. That might not seem like a lot, but meteorologist Chelsea Chandler said today, all it takes is about a dog to bark for the power to go out. So do with that what you will, especially with the heavy rain that's falling. You get a good wind gust, there goes a tree. An old tree in the backyard could be gone, and then you have concerns with damage, you have concerns with power outages. I'm not saying that's going to be a widespread issue in the area, but it's possible. Just keep that in mind. And then on top of that, we've got the brief tornado potential mainly in North Mississippi Monday night into Tuesday. They're normally weak tornadoes with systems like this, but tornadoes nonetheless, and it's something we're going to watch for very, very carefully. So there's that band of storms coming through right now. It's in a little bit early, but I think for the rest of the night, we're looking okay. By tomorrow morning, the rain begins to move in, and then there's the core of the storm that moves through Monday afternoon and Monday evening. Good news is, if this model's correct, it's out of here by Tuesday at 10 a.m. The rest of the day and the rest of the week looking fantastic. Now, that's the latest I've got on Hurricane Ida. That's the latest info on what's happening down in Louisiana and what's expected here in Memphis. So I'm going to let you guys go. Be sure to download the Local 24 News app if you're not watching it already. You have the latest forecast, radar, hourly info, all of that is right there. We'll also send you a notification if something's happening in your area, like a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. But other than that, we will be live on air on CW30 at 9, and then ABC 24 News at 10 will be right after that, and I'll have the latest there. But if you're worried about tonight, folks, honestly, I wouldn't be concerned. Sleep easy. Tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon is when we start to feel impacts. That's when we could see some of those gusty winds and potentially a brief tornado. But we're going to be here watching it. We will keep you updated as soon as anything changes. But for now, we're going to hop off live, and I'll see you back